What's up, everyone? I've been posting a lot of pickup shit lately on my channel, so I wanted to make this video to express my thoughts on it because I know the people that are currently coming to this channel are probably discovering by means of searching for fucking pickup shit. Let me just say that this isn't a pickup channel, but I am currently just uploading all my pickup shit onto the channel for people to watch. My journey in pickup was probably around 10 years long, but it was not very similar to the hardcore PUA dude that goes to boot camps and sarges and their goal in life to fucking master this shit. My journey in pickup, I did do some pickups. I did maybe 100 to 300. I couldn't really put somewhere in that range. I got some numbers. I went on some dates. I think I closed a few girls, and then I did have a bunch of stuff online and I closed some girls that way, but I didn't go all in. Like, I went to boot camps, and the most I did is I went to a couple of hot seats in Honolulu. But my journey in pickup was unfucking the big clusterfuck of it, because in the beginning I got into it and immediately I noticed that it was a flawed tool that I had been given. It's a good tool. It helped me a lot in understanding female psychology and overcoming a lot of my insecurities I had with women. I'm sure I still have them at some level, but for the most part, I feel I've conquered that. My journey was about being okay with not approaching. Because I got into it, I didn't even realize that I could just walk up and talk to the girls that I thought were pretty. Typically, my perspective before was like, I would see a pretty girl and I'd be like, oh, that girl's so pretty. Wow, I'd like to fuck her. And then I would just continue what I was doing. It wouldn't even fucking enter my mind that I could just go up and introduce myself and try to pull her. Because why would that girl like me? My self-esteem with women was very much rooted in why would that person like me. It got like that when I started doing pickup. Before that, there was just nothing there. So once I start pickup, though, the way that I started was my friend, he actually went to a boot camp and everything too. He went the complete opposite way that I did. He became this PUA guy. My first day of approaching, I actually did it with him. We walked around the mall and we didn't do any fucking approaches, man. It was pretty sad. I could tell that he was sort of going off me. If I would have approached, he would have approached too, because he was a bit more insecure than I was. So he was sort of using me as a base to like, oh, well, if he's doing it and it's okay, then I'll do it with him. But we went out, we walked around the mall for like 2 fucking hours. I was getting freaking warm approaches. You know, when girls open you with eye contact, so I was getting warm approached by girls in that sense. Some girl walks fucking in front of me, looks over her shoulder at me, gives me sexy eye contact, and then turns around and literally just walks right in front of me so I could look at her ass. Walks in front of me, like, I don't know, for like 10 seconds. Looks back over her shoulder at me. She turns right and she walks into some clothing store. It's sad that I still remember this, man. This is fucking 10, 15 years ago. It's like in 2008 or 9, man. And I still didn't approach that girl because I just had that hesitancy. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It wasn't even really approach anxiety. I just didn't go. I just didn't have that gear in me to just turn it on and get into that gear. Anyway, so he gets me into it. After that happens, obviously, my friend and I, we drive back. We actually drove a fucking hour out, and we ended up going down to the Ontario Mills Mall. And then we drove an hour back, the fucking long fucking car ride back. On the way there, the car was short, and then on the way back, it was super fucking long, mostly silent. We get to talking about it, and we basically just decided, man, we're fucking losers, man. Why didn't we fucking do anything? It's a man thing when you set out to do something and then you don't even try. You feel like bit of your manhood just got fucking sucked out of you. So that happens. And then the next time I was at school, I walked down to the school and I said, the very first girl that I see, I will approach her. Fuck this. It became like about my manhood type of shit, which that's really what a lot of pickup becomes in the beginning. A lot of guys go in and fucking base their whole fucking manhood on it. Like, I'm not a man if I don't approach and blah, blah, blah. But I'll get back to that. I go, I do my fucking first approach. No problem. I was in full fucking my manhood mode. I had my fucking balls in my fucking hand, basically. And I walked up to this girl, talked to her, got a number closed. And I think the interaction was like 30 seconds. I really don't even remember. I think my line was, you looked very approachable, the beginning of the line. I forget how I ended it, but I said that and I started talking with her. Then I got a number. But the funny thing about it is that when I approached her, it was such a shock to my system that I literally got dazed when I started talking to her. You know how stuff starts going white right before you're about to pass out? Like, I don't know, from a heat fatigue or something, like everything starts going really white on you. That's what started happening to me. I started talking to her and everything started going really white on me, and then I started getting dazed. I got slight vertigo. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I don't think I heard ringing in my ears, but I wouldn't be surprised if I fucking did, man. I really felt like I just got punched in the fucking face. But I pushed through, got her number. I never fucking called her because she wasn't even really that pretty, man. I would have compared to like Olive Oyl from Popeye. She had no body and plain face. It's funny because it's like God gave me a neutral female for my first approach. But once I did that, I ended up going out with another friend of mine, and I went and I hit up a bunch of chicks, and I got, I think, like 3 or 4 numbers or something. I don't know. I really don't remember what the results were. Maybe I didn't get any numbers, but I did a bunch of approaches that day and popped my cherry basically fully. After that, I was able to approach whenever I wanted. I never really had a problem with approach anxiety. Now I do it differently. I wouldn't even really say I approach anymore. Anyways, I'll get back to that when I get to the end of this. But then I ended up going to the army. I ended up moving to Hawaii. I go to Iraq. I don't see any women basically. So then I come back. I'd had a year in Iraq. Thank God I didn't die or anything or get injured. My buddy and I that I had from basic training that went to Hawaii with me, we got stationed there together. I'm talking with him. I'm like, yo, man, we gotta go get some fucking pussy, man. It's been a fucking year and no fucking puss. Fuck this. While I'm in Iraq, when I would have downtime, I would watch pickup shit like Paul Janka, Juggler, Mystery, all of David D'Angelo's fucking programs, Ross Jeffries, Simple Pickup on YouTube. So much fucking shit. I just basically did the whole overloading myself with information because that's how I am when I learn something. I want to just learn as much about it as I can. This is for a year. No girls to approach, and I'm just watching all these things over and over. Basically all I would watch in my downtime for the most part. And I get back super fucking charged up. I go with my buddy. First girl that I approach, I pick her up. My buddy and I sit outside at this restaurant. We sit on the outside where we could see the people walking by because we're in this fucking plaza, this city called Mililani on the island of Oahu. At the Mililani Town Center, I think the name of the place was Just Tacos. We'd been there for maybe 45 minutes, but all the girls we kept seeing, because this town center is next to a high school, and there were a lot of teenage girls there, 16, 17. We saw some girls that were pretty, but we didn't know. We were like, I don't know, maybe she's in high school, man. She looks kind of young. Finally, we see this hot Creole woman walk by. So you're walking to the store, and then my buddy's like, damn, I really like that one. And I was like, yeah, man, I really like her. And I was like, I'm gonna go get her, man. I'll be right back. I walk into the store, go and I approach her. I give her some fucking cheesy bullshit line, which, by the way, what I've learned about openers, it doesn't fucking matter what the fuck you say, man. I mean, it matters to the point where you're not a fucking dick or an asshole or anything, but you basically can open the shit with anything. This is a big fucking problem that I used to have, where I thought that you're bothering girls when you approach them. I'm sure some of you guys probably might experience this, like, I want to approach her, but I don't know, man. She looks busy, or why would she want to talk to me, or whatever the fuck limiting belief you got in there that's preventing you from going. And then you're like, I need to have a good line, because otherwise I'm gonna lose her. I gotta open her, then I gotta fucking hook her, but then I gotta be not too invested and not become a dancing clown. There's all this fucking mental acrobats you have to fucking bust in your fucking mind, but that's not how it is. You don't really need to do all that shit, because girls want to fucking meet guys too, so they want you to come up to them. If a girl wants to meet a guy, she wants you to walk up to her. If she doesn't want you to meet her, they're just gonna tell you no, even if you have the best fucking line of all time. And if they want to meet somebody, you could say something like, oh, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to meet you. Or you look really pretty today. Hi. Or whatever the fuck to open it. Just be fucking nice. Be fucking friendly. That'll open them. You don't need this crazy fucking shit. Because like I said, they want to meet guys too, but they care more about how you treat them. They're caught up in the magic of everything. The top frame I would say that you could take on is the serendipitous frame. It's this fate, destiny thing that's going on, and everything's just going how it's supposed to happen. Like, I don't know why I met you, I don't know why we're here at the same time, but I just saw you and I thought maybe it means something. That's the fucking frame. She wants it just as much as you do, then you're good. Go in there like that, and it's basically, I forgot who said this, but all sets are open. It's true. I know what it means now. They all are open if they're open to being open. So you don't need this crazy fucking line to get it going. So I meet this woman. Oh, you look really pretty, whatever the fuck. She's like, oh, huh. She giggles, and then I was like, hey, my friend and I are sitting outside right there at Just Tacos across the way. Why don't you come and join us for a drink? And she was just down. Literally, it took me like fucking 30 seconds. She was just like, oh yeah, just let me get what I'm getting, and when I come out, I'll go and I'll sit with you guys. So then I leave, and of course all my limiting bullshit started coming back, and I was like, oh yeah, she just blew me off. She's not really gonna come. But there's another thing I want to say. If she wants to come, she's gonna come. Let her come. Don't fucking be like, I gotta check and make sure that she's coming mean, don't even start, just, it's done. If she's gonna come, she's gonna come. If she's not, she's not. Let it fucking go. It's so much better for you mentally. Like, I used to have such a problem with texting where I would send girls these long fucking texts, or I would look at a text and then 5 minutes later I'd check if she answered me. I was like, maybe she texted me and I just didn't hear it, or I didn't feel it vibrate. Let me check again. And then I would get a text and I would be like, I don't know if should I respond right away? And I would go through all this fucking bullshit. Just forget about it. If it doesn't go well, just approach another girl. There are endless girls on this planet. That's what they mean by being detached. It's not don't care about what the girl thinks. Obviously, if I'm interacting with a girl, I'm not all like, I don't give a shit. I give a fuck what's going on. Oh, this is what I wanted to say earlier. The whole opening thing, they're paying attention to how much you connect. Not even to the words you're saying, how attractive you are. I mean, some of them, dude, they're not like fucking sexless. But at the end of the day, what they care about is how much you and her are connecting. So if you come in, and like I said, the serendipitous frame is fucking the best frame, not even just for her, but just for you. Think of it as you're starting a relationship with this person. The way, honestly, I look at sex, I'm always thinking, would I be okay with me getting her pregnant? And if the answer is no, no matter how hot she is, no matter what, I won't have sex with her. That changes who I select for sex. When you open a girl and you're in the frame with her, if you're thinking about the frame as you and this person are coming into union and connecting, that's going to affect how you would treat the pickup. You're not going to fucking trying to be nonchalant. You're going to talk to them like a person that you're connecting with. So when you open, come in like it's already open. And then while you're talking, think of it as this person and I are connecting. Typically nowadays, if I approach a girl, I literally just go, hi, just saw you and I felt something and I think maybe it meant something. I don't know why. Oh, by the way, my name's, what's your name? And that's it. That's what I say. I'm just like, hey, this is random. This is like some serendipitous thing. I pause real quick. I introduce myself. And if she gives me her name back, then I know she's down. Because they'll do these different reactions. Here's one of the toxic things that I got from pickup, where they're like, stack forward. If the girl gives you resistance, keep going. This is what I'm talking about, the connection thing. A lot of the pickup treats the girl as a target. She's a fucking object. Her friends are obstacles. They dehumanize what the fuck is happening. It's missing the whole human connection thing. This is what I'm telling you after years on the far side of this pickup shit. I went into it like that. I was like, I need to get through these bitches' resistance. But you don't need to get through the resistance. The resistance is good. Think of it like this. So the girl has this life-giving vessel that only women have. Only women can give birth. Every human came out of a fucking woman. They have this gift from God. Obviously, when somebody comes up and is like, hey, I like you, I want to enter into you, they're going to have that natural resistance. That's healthy. They should resist. You shouldn't be mad at them for resisting, because I used to get upset about that too. It's another unhealthy belief that I used to have, is that I dislike how women give resistance. Like, bitch, if you're fucking down, then let's fuck. What's all with all these fucking formalities? I like you, I think you're hot, and if you like me and you were interested in me, then why do we have to go through this whole getting to know it? Let's just fuck. And then once we fuck, then we can get to know each other. It takes all this tension off the table. I think Janka said it in Beyond the Digits. Once you've had sex with them, the real you and the real her can come out and you can get past all these formalities. I disagree with shit like that, because like I said, you're connecting with this person. So from the woman's perspective, if you come up and you're like, hey, I like you, and she feels you trying to enter her, she's going to have that natural resistance, because she can get pregnant and because she has this valuable life-giving vessel and she needs to protect it. It's good that she has that resistance. Just my advice, get over that shit. Don't stack forward. So this is what I'm saying. So in the pickup, this is one of the toxic things they teach, that we're like, no, just keep fucking stacking forward. Give IOD, show her you're not interested, push it away. By you pushing it away, then she'll chase you and that'll knock down her guard. And that's how you get around it. That's dumb. No, the way that it works is you start and then she's going to have that pushing away feeling. But you, since you understand that, you're like, I get that's what you're doing. But like I said, if she wants to meet someone, she's aware of her resistance and she's going to feel it, but she's not going to give it to, if she's open to meeting people. But you could fuck it up because she's gonna feel it. And if you start coming on too strongly or trying to be a fucking dick and disinterested, if it's a mature woman, she's gonna sense that her not giving it to you right away is fucking with your frame, and your frame is fucking basically dependent on her not resisting it. She's gonna sense that and she's just gonna push you the fuck away. Don't worry about the resistance and stacking forward. How you need to think of it is that if she wants to meet you, she's not gonna necessarily pay attention to it. And as long as you don't trigger it further in her, it's gonna eventually go away because she wants to meet you. She's gonna make excuses for you. So those are one of the things that pickup teaches about the stacking forward bullshit. That's why in the example that I gave you, like, oh, hi, this is random that we met, and before I go into my close, I take a pause. I introduce myself and I give her a chance to introduce herself back. If she doesn't, then I might still go for the clothes or whatever, or I might take a step back, but I can basically tell that she's not really interested. But if she is interested, she's gonna introduce herself. And that doesn't even really mean she wants to fuck or anything. I'm saying if she's just open to me continuing what the fuck I'm saying. So I do that, and then when I get the girl out, in my mind, I'm framing it as this is a person I'm building a relationship with. This isn't me trying to win her over. This is us connecting, and because we're gonna unite, it makes everything that happens between us meaningful. And I don't know how many of you guys out there haven't ever fallen in love or been in a relationship or anything, but I remember I learned this because this is my new frame that I adopted. Once I met a girl, I didn't even meet her through pickup. The girl that I met her from, I had an apartment and I put out an ad on Craigslist. She comes through, and then we end up being roommates and becoming friends, and then we end up becoming a thing, and then we fell in love, and it was great. So out of that relationship, I ended up learning that I always felt complete before. It's not that I don't feel complete now, but I feel more full when I've united with my other half. If you approach relationships with this frame where it's connecting dots is the best way that I can see it. Something happens, wow, that's weird how this happened, then this happened, and then that means this. And you should be taking into account what everything means and the meaning of certain things and what means things specifically to you, how things are specifically happening fucking for you, because stuff is happening for you. You just have to connect it all. So when you go into a relationship and you're going to now come into union with somebody, that's how you should be looking at the relationship. This isn't girl crack like Tyler used to say, but they can't get enough of it. And they can't stop thinking about you, and they're just obsessing over you. It's like, what does it all mean? How does everything connect? Oh, when he said that, then that means this, and that means this about me. That's how she's thinking. So when you're coming into the approach, the way that it looks like to her is, how does this connect to what's going on in my life? And there's a basic archetype that I fucking tapped into. You start connecting stuff. You're like, listen, when we met, I don't know, I felt something. I could have been anywhere else at that time. I see other girls all the time, but for some reason with you, maybe this means something. And then you just start talking about yourself and like, yeah, these things have been happening in my life. They've been connecting in this way. It's this crazy story that's going on with me. It's destiny. I think this means this. I think that means that about me. And I wonder how you fit into that. What is going on with you and how do I fit in what's going on with you? That is the best friend, not this fucking toxic stuff I've been talking about in pickup where you're just trying to wash over the girl and it's just all about you, what you think, and you're ignoring all these signals from the fucking outside where you're just like, I push through stuff. I don't pay attention to fucking shit that's going on outside of me. I fucking roll through it. I roll over it. You're not supposed to roll over with anything. You're supposed to, there's this concept in Eastern philosophy called the diamond body. It's also called the rainbow body. I like that name better, the rainbow body. The way that I used to view the world is that I would see myself in the center of a tornado where basically everything's just wild chaos. And I'm sitting in the center of it, fucking meditating, and there's a bubble of clear air around me where it's completely calm and I'm completely peaceful, existing, completely still, unaffected by this turbulence and chaos circling completely around me. And that used to be how I viewed myself in the world. The rainbow body is where there's an image of this person meditating and they're radiating light. The light is going out and touching everything outside of them. Basically, that means that it's connecting, touching everything that's outside of you. It's like the two forms of Buddhism, where the first one, I think it's called Theravada Buddhism. That one is about finding enlightenment for yourself. And what ended up happening is the people that mastered that Buddhism and they got enlightened there, they had this revelation and they found that, I think it's called Mahayana or something with an M Buddhism. I think it's the Tibetan form, where you're not enlightened until not only you are enlightened, but everything around you is also enlightened. And that's what the rainbow body is talking about. This shit, the rainbow body is from like 5, 6, I think it's from Egyptian times. So it's older than Tibetan Buddhism, but they have the same principle there. They got enlightened themselves and then they learned, oh, I'm not enlightened until I spread it to everything around me. And that's why you always see, in my opinion, Buddha, and he's got the fucking halo in those pictures and it's radiating light out. The sun and all these symbols about the sun radiating light out. That's what the fuck they're talking about. That's why it's called the rainbow body too, because the rainbow is 7 different colors that unite into one and become, rainbow is white light, and then you break up white light and it becomes the 7 colors of the rainbow. It has everything in one. That's how you connect with this life. And the meaning of life is very simple. What's the meaning of life? To make it meaningful. That's what you're supposed to be doing with your other half. You start radiating out and connecting with everything around you. And the way you connect with everything around you is by finding meaning in everything. And the way that you find meaning in everything is what I was telling you, the whole serendipity frame, where you're looking at stuff stuff and you're like, that means this and that connects to this other thing. And when I notice that these things are connecting, I see this message that comes out of that or this revelation, and then that tells me what to do next. And then I'm sort of just doing things and I'm making decisions, and then I keep connecting stuff. As I get from one phase to the next, I'm constantly connecting things, and then that gives those things meaning, and then that leads me to the next thing, and so on and so forth. Which, by the way, the types of videos I'm putting out now, I hope you guys are liking them. I think my favorite video that I have up now is magic and psychic influence. But remember, any of this pickup stuff that you fucking take on, the one flaw that it has, because I knew it from the beginning, man, from the fucking, I think the first thing I was ever exposed to was from my friend that I told you about when we went, the guy that I went to the mall with. He came and told me about mystery, and then he read the book, and then he was telling me about it. And after he told me about it, I think I searched him or something, and then that's when I found out about real social dynamics, and I went into this whole fucking real social dynamics fucking rabbit hole. The whole fucking time, I knew that there was something not right about it, but I also knew that it was a fundamental thing that was wrong. I didn't think any of the stuff they were teaching was wrong. It's just the context in which they were being given to me, which this is what I'm talking about now. All that pickup stuff is cool, but what's not cool is this whole fundamental frame that they have where all the reasoning says it's you versus the girl, and she's trying to not let you fuck, and you're trying to fuck, and you're trying to get around her barriers she has on the path to the pussy. And then if you can successfully navigate around or through, then you get it. And if you can't, then she wins. That's the toxic fucking central frame that I'm talking about. And I figured it all out eventually. The other bad thing is then you start basing it on your identity, your manhood. Like, if I don't do this, I'm a fucking pussy. I used to go on the RSD forums, and it would just be dudes just drilling dudes that would just like, if you don't approach, shut the fuck up. And you create this whole fucking identity out of it. It's fucking weird, man. Where you talking to people, really what it was is I could tell that in the beginning, the way it started manifesting, the eventual revelation I had of what was wrong with the pickup shit is I would feel, because I was basing it on my identity, I'm sure it happens to you guys sometimes, where I would see a girl that I wanted to approach and I just wouldn't approach her for whatever reason. I just like, I don't know what to say. I was still in that whole frame. She doesn't want me to approach. I used to think like that. So when I would see a girl that I wouldn't, which by the way, she does want to meet you. You do matter, because you're going to go in there and you're going to make everything meaningful. It's already warm because you're already giving stuff meaning. You're going to go up to her. She's open to meeting you if she is, because like I said, sometimes you approach girls and they start acting awkward. You can tell when a girl is deflecting the fucking interaction because they don't want to be rude. I don't think I've ever had an approach where a girl was a bitch to me. Never happened to me. What they basically do is they become deflective. They always try to get you to end it somehow. They start acting all awkward, not giving you any responses. They start giving you short answers, like how you would act if you don't want to talk with somebody. And if you sense that, eject. I was watching some video the other day because I don't really watch pickup anymore, but once in a while I'll see on my YouTube thing, I've been seeing stuff come up. There's hour-long YouTube videos on like, there's this guy, Owen Cook, and he owns Real Social Dynamics. This guy, Mystery, and it's a bunch of these losers that want to meet women and they want to rape them and they want to trick them, and basically people that have no fucking idea how a pickup works, because a lot of times it's girls, and it's probably just angry girls that hate men and they got hurt at some point or another, just angry at men. Or it's dudes that are just shit-talking them and they've never done a fucking pickup. Because for somebody to make a video like that where they're just bashing these pickup dudes, one, shows they haven't actually watched any of their shit with an actual understanding mind, and two, they fucking, for some reason, hate guys picking up girls. But anyway, I've been seeing a lot of those videos come up on my feed, and then whatever, I'll watch the video, and then in the comments, I'll see dudes talk. This I saw on More Plates, More Dates. He was fucking saying something about approaching girls at the gym or something. And then in the comments, some guy was saying, I was talking to this girl at the gym and she was being real short with me and her friend was being rude. I forget what he said, but her friend was there saying smart shit to him and she wasn't really giving him answers. And he just kept going. And eventually he went for it. And what do you think happened when he went for the number 8? He didn't get it. And then he was feeling down about it. I was like, oh, I'm going to respond to this guy's comment and tell him, well, before I tell you what I said, comments are saying, oh, she was just a bitch, man. You'll see a lot of comments like this where you can tell. Now that I remember, I got completely off topic. This other thing I wanted to tell you about this lair, this pickup lair that I joined. So I ended up joining this lair when I was in Hawaii. That's what I was telling you that story about when that girl I picked up out of Just Tacos. She came back and started drinking with us. We ended up going to her house. She had a fucking BMW, and she's like, what? And then we were like, let's go back to your place. Or I don't know if she invited us or what. And then we got in her car. She had a fucking BMW, and she lived at a house on the beach in an expensive part of town. It was a crazy fucking day, man, that day. So after all that happened, I ended up joining a lair in Honolulu. It's probably still there, man. I think it's called the Honolulu PUA lair. And when I joined the lair, I would sarge with other dudes that were in the lair. For anyone that hasn't been in a lair, the way they basically work is you join the lair. I had to do an initiation with some representative from the lair. His name was Wizard. I think my name was probably Catch. I met him, and then after they saw you do 5 approaches, they unlocked. Because there was one thread that people that wanted to join, anybody could fucking post on, and you could just tell them, hey, I want to join, and then they respond to you, and then you set it up, and then once you do your 5 pickups and they see that you're not weird or whatever, I can now access the entire forum, and then you see what's going on. There was a dude on there that would talk about parties that were going on all the time. There were dudes at different skill levels, yeah? Different threads about dudes that were talking about their experiences, and man, it's fucking Waikiki, man. Like, Waikiki is such a great spot to go if you want to pick up, man. I think any city where tourists come is a great place for pickup, man. But anyway, so I joined the lair. I ended up making a friend there. I fucked with a few other dudes like on there, but most of them I kind of thought they were weird, or I just didn't go out, or for whatever reason. But this one guy that would go out with him, and then I just started noticing the same thing I noticed on this fucking comment that I'm talking about that I saw on YouTube, is that dudes really get super affected by this pickup stuff. Sorry, I'm kind of losing what my fucking point was because I had to stop to somebody came and knocked at the door, so I'll put a pin in that. But let me get back to the comment. So the comment on YouTube was that the girl rejected him and he was getting all these fucking negative signals from her, and then the dudes in the threads are like, yo man, you gotta fucking, she's a bitch, all this fucking hate toward the girl on the comment. Then I said, listen, man, you just have to learn that sometimes you have to walk away. That whole pushing forward bullshit, that's fucking stupid. You're not paying attention to what she's doing. You're so focused on what you're trying to do because what it means to your identity that you're missing fucking basic signals. The reason she was giving you short answers is because she didn't want to talk to you. And then the reason her friends started being rude is because she was trying to let you know like she's not interested. That's why when you went for it, it didn't happen. So that's my whole point, guys. When you're doing the pickup, you need to be paying attention what the girl is giving you, and she's letting you know if she's open to being approached or not, man. And that's why you don't have to be trying and doing all these fucking acrobatics and fucking tricks to get in the pussy. All you have to do is walk up, be nice, be kind, have the connecting frame, paying attention to what everything means and making everything meaningful, and you're aligning your stories with each other, and that's how you're gonna meet. Really, I wanna say this, my evolution. Remember how I told you in the beginning I didn't really have confidence in why would anybody want to meet me, and that ended up turning into, there was one thing that Owen said in Foundations that I thought was super narcissistic when he said it. This line is so fucking money, I still remember it to write. I think it's the one thing I remember over the entire Foundations. He said, when you approach a girl, she's not doing you a favor by letting you talk with her. You're doing her a favor by approaching her. That sounds really narcissistic, but I get what he meant. Now, he means that when you approach, this is, once you really fucking embody this, it's not to say I don't get anxiety, approach anxiety if I do an approach now, but I have really nothing stopping me. I feel the anxiety, but I understand that it doesn't mean anything because of what I'm about to tell you. If a girl is open to meeting you, she wants you to approach because that's your role as the man. Girls are walking around and they're seeing guys all the time that I don't know if it's 100% true because I'm not a woman obviously, but this is what I think it's like for them. So they walk around and just like us, they see people that they're attracted to all the time. They feel all the same shit that we fucking feel. But what happens between us and them is that we're like, I'm down. Immediately, and we just start thinking about fuck and kind of stuck in the whole conquering them thing. I think what happens with them is that they start building the whole story in their mind of how if we met, how you would pick them up, and they start giving it all meaning. They obviously get all the sexual stuff too, but like I said, they have that resistance that I was telling you earlier because they have the life-giving vessel and they can get pregnant. So anytime anyone tries to get that from, because it's, I was saying this to someone the other day, I was like, feminism has this thing that's fundamentally wrong with it. I'm a supporter of egalitarianism for races and sexist, and I'm all into that, but specifically feminism because I think we're in the fourth wave now. Fourth wave feminism has really become about man-hating feminism. It's all these women that are hurt And now they found this group of other women that are hurt, and they're all just angry at men and then the fucking patriarchy. Listen to this, okay? I learned about the patriarchy a fuck ton. I went to the University of Hawaii, and then I was just at Middlebury College, and those are very left-leaning universities. So I learned a lot of fucking feminism, and then I got an English degree and a Spanish degree, so I'm reading a bunch of literature, and I took some political science classes too. So I was reading a lot of, and then I just listened to political stuff anyway, having my finger on the pulse of the culture. Not too much, but enough where my finger's on the pulse at least. And feminism, I've come to understand it as, like I'm saying, there's a lot of man-hating fucking shit going on, and it stems from, it's somewhat justified, but it's not really what they believe, but how they fucking act on what they believe. That really tells you a lot about where they're at. It's not even about them. Even these women that are man-hating, I bet you it's because they have trauma. They're hurt. What's a wounded animal gonna do? A wounded animal is gonna fucking, defend itself. Imagine there's a wounded fucking deer in front of you, and you go to help it, and let's say it got hurt by another human, so you're part of this thing that hurt it, and when you go to fucking help this wounded animal, it's gonna fucking try to bite you. It thinks you're gonna hurt it again, so it's gonna create this healthy fucking antagonism towards your type. It's because it's traumatized. But if you can show it that you're not trying to hurt it, you care about it and shit, then what's gonna happen? It's not gonna be this fucking hate against your help. So when I say man-hating women, it's just where they are now. I don't really think there will forever be man-hating, and once you can show them that you understand their trauma and their pain, most of them should come around. Yeah, I've been hurt by people, and then when somebody comes up to me and they're like, I apologize, I understand that's how I hurt you, I soften up a little bit and I give them a chance. I'm like, all right, well, let me see. And it's just human instinct, in my opinion, to want to connect with other humans, man. So if someone cares about you and is giving you love and good energy, you're gonna be like, all right, I'll give you a chance. But like I was saying, these man-hating fucking feminists, where there's hate is coming from, is from the whole patriarchy. They're like, we gotta go against the patriarchy. Patriarchy comes from this whole thing that men reduce women down to their bodies. All the guys can fuck as many girls as they want, and that's societally okay. If a woman does that, she's a slut, and there's all this stigma against it. And back in the day, women couldn't cheat on their husbands, but husbands could have a mistress, and that was fine. I'm sure you guys are familiar with all this sexual double standard between men and women. And then women have this thing toward men where you're supposed to be the protector and provider. You're supposed to buy them dinner on the first date, and you're supposed to court them. And if you're not a gentleman. These roles are in place. Feminism is looking to break out of that. I honestly think all that stuff makes sense to me, and I actually used to be against buying a girl dinner on our first date. I do it now. I'm totally down. Actually, the way that I do it, if you really want to know, is I'll go out, and then on the first date, I'll be like, hey, I'm not that hungry right now, so I'm thinking I'll just buy one meal and we can just split it. So let's just fucking decide what we want together. I've never had the girl say no. And then that's when I'll go and I'll sit next to her. We'll look at the menu together, and then we'll pick out what we want. And I'm already sitting next to her now. It's a fucking money move. And listen, anytime I use techniques like that, it's not to get around her resistance. It's to make it easier for us to connect, which goes back to what I was saying earlier. You're doing her a favor by approaching her. She's not doing you a favor by letting her. Even though in a way she kind of is, you're both doing each other a favor, right? It's two-sided. But that's what I'm saying. You initiate so the connection can happen. That's your role. That's why we open. Every part of the pickup, however you break it down in your mind, you're the fucking initiator. You put it on the table. David D'Angelo used to say 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what the fuck he's talking about. You put it out there, and then you chill. Todd used to be like, and Mystery used to say this about talking slowly and shit. The reason they say that is because it gives you time, when you take your time, to read how they're fucking reacting. All that looking at their body language and listening to their tone, that's important too. Not because you can use it to fucking get around the resistance, but because you can use it to understand what they're feeling, and you can connect with them at that level. You're trying to connect with them. You're not trying to push through whatever the fuck they're giving you. You're trying to feel where they're at, and then connect with them where they're at. And then if there's a connection there, that's the whole frame of the pickup, man. Connect with the chick. Don't fucking try to get around her stuff. Don't look at it like that. Look at it like it's all meaningful. It's all connecting stuff. When you're sitting there with her, anything that you do, like that thing I told you about the menu and about sharing the dish, it's all you just giving her chances to connect with you. You're basically giving them chances for a connection, and they want connection. You're connecting with them. Think of it as you're building a relationship with this person. Even if it's just a wham bam, thank you ma'am, that's cool too, but you still have to make her feel like this. Dude, even afterward, you just feel better about yourself. If you really want to get in this whole I just want what I want, okay, cool. But when you give people these experiences and you make them feel good about themselves, it just makes you feel better. It's just better for you to be nice. It just goes back to the whole connecting with your fucking environment thing that I've been repeating ad nauseum. I think we need to start viewing women as a gift to humanity. Without them, we can't have babies. That's why the whole protector and provider thing makes fucking sense, because they have these weaker bodies physically. Our bodies are made for conquering and building, and their bodies are made for creating and nurturing. So if you start looking at women like this beautiful, valuable, outside of her personality, just literally her physical body, this fucking beautiful physical thing that makes babies, I need to take care of it and make sure it doesn't get hurt and it's treated for the valuable body that it is. If you start looking at it like that, it makes sense why men are supposed to court them and buy dinner for them and treat them nicely. That's our role. And when you meet a woman and you take on this connecting with them frame, that's what it's about. I used to have this problem. This is why I haven't done that many pickups. I only did a few hundred pickups at most. But over these 10 years, I was doing them all within that first, when I got back from Iraq, that's when I went pretty hard for like a couple months. I joined the Lair, but I would only approach hot girls. So a lot of the time I would be walking around and I would be looking at girls and I would be like, no, you know what? She's not hot enough. And I wouldn't approach. And then I would have my buddy that I was always going out with, and he would only approach uglier girls because he would get really nervous around the hot ones. But I was the opposite. I would only approach hot ones. I actually always get kind of weirded out by why guys can't approach hot girls, man. A hot girl should make you want to approach her, not want to approach. That's the shit that would always weird me out. That would happen to a lot of dudes that I went sergeant with, but that's beside the point. So I was going through this phase. So I went for a few months approaching the hottest girls and only the hottest girls. There was a certain amount of attraction I had to feel before I would do the approach. But then after a while, it gets you kind of into this hunt mode where it make me uncomfortable. And that whole revelation I shared with you about we need to value women for the valuable vessel that they are physically, it's the end of this point that I'm making now. Because the first problem that I had is I had this problem with not approaching. And then I identified like, you know why that's going on? Because I'm basing it on my manhood. It doesn't matter if I approach them or not. If I don't want to approach, then I'm just not going to approach, because I could do it because I've done approaches. I will say, go out at least once, get it out of your system. It isn't even just pickup. It's imagine you wanted to do anything, and every time you would go to do it, you wouldn't do it. You would feel like a bitch. I'm not saying that's not valid, but I'm saying once you've done it, now the next time if you don't do it, you at least can be like, well, I've done it before. I'm just choosing not to do it. At least that for me, that's what worked. That's how I got around that whole thing where I was like, oh no, if I don't approach, I'm not a fucking man, I'm a fucking punk, and that whole stuff I would see on the RSD forums. So that was the first thing I had to get around. Once I got around that, okay with not approaching, that's why I went into this next phase where I was like, I'm only approaching hot girls. And then it put me into this whole hunter mindset. This is the next problem that I had. I got into this hunting mindset where I'm just looking for girls to approach. And I also had that whole getting around the resistance thing still going on at the time. I was like, I just want to fuck as many chicks as I can. Like, that girl's not hot enough for me. And it puts me in this hunter mode where I'm very judgmental mode, and I really didn't like it. Eventually, that's made me stop just completely approaching anymore, because I was like, it's fucked up, because I could be approaching some girl, but what if it was the same girl, but she just was fat, or she was deformed somehow, or I just wasn't attracted to her. That's just not healthy for me and how I deal with humans, because then it's going to bleed into stuff where I'm going to start looking at humans like objects. This person doesn't have enough external meaning for me to give a fuck about them. And I could just kind of feel how that was not right. That's why I stopped approaching for so long, man, where I just wouldn't do it because I just felt wrong about approaching girls just because they're hot. I kept trying to go back to it. I did a couple approaches here and there sometimes, but I really didn't get back into it because I just don't feel right approaching girls just based on how they look. I want it to mean something. Instead of me talking to girls based on how they look, I'm gonna talk to them based on what we're sharing. So let's say I go to a comedy show, or I go to a concert, or I go out to the specialty food store, lifestyle stuff. I go to somewhere like that. This thing that we both like has brought us to this place at the same time. If I see a girl I like there, then just from us going there, then eventually just from being in the same environments, because just think about it, that's how you make friends. You end up in the same place at the same time, then you end up talking, then you end up getting to know each other, and then one of you's like, hey man, you know, I'm gonna be doing this thing, you wanna go? I took the same approach with women. Even then, I would get in these environments, man, and then I would see a girl that I would like, but then I would be like, yeah, but there are other girls in this environment. It's not fair then I'm just gonna talk with her just because of how she looks. You see, gets kind of weird. Just stay with me. But then I would be like, okay, I'm not gonna go based on just how she looks. I'm also gonna base it on how she presents herself and how she carries herself. So if she has this certain feminine energy and she's very kind, motherly in a way, but she's chill and she's fun, then I'll approach her, because I think she's pretty and she's awesome. But then I would see girls like that, but then they wouldn't be attractive. I'd be like, yeah, but I don't want to talk to ugly girls. Fucking years I was stuck in this fucking phase, man. They kept fucking evolving into different things. I'd be like, okay, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? If all these conditions are met, then it's okay for me to talk to this hot girl. But then I would always go back to, I'm just talking to her because of how she looks, and I don't like that. I don't want to turn people into objects that when they have things that I want, then I give them my energy, as opposed to if they didn't have this external things that I want, then I'm cold. This is where we can get into screening. I approach them. This is the whole screening thing. I start talking with her. This is what they talk about, you screening her, because I used to have a problem with screening. What that means is you screen them for connection, and you're not trying to get around their fucking resistance. That is the main problem. That's the whole purpose of making this fucking video for you guys, is because that's the number one problem with all the frame that all this pickup stuff has, is you need to get around their objections and they're a target. And no, you don't want to do that. You want to pay attention to all these key moments. All these shit tests, they're not shit tests, they're indicators. If she's shit testing you, most likely that means, yeah, they're like, oh, it means she's attracted to you. Not really. I think when they're shit testing you, it's more something got off, man. They're testing your frame. They're not testing if you're man enough or if you're dominant enough. No. It's because you did something wrong. Your frame got off right there, and they need you to fix it and get it back correctly, which the correct frame is that you're trying to connect with them. The shit test just kind of tells you you were incongruent, and then now they're testing you and to see if they just misinterpreted or if really they're right and you just got off right there. If you're getting a lot of shit tests, what that means is you're fucking trying to trick them or manipulate them or get around the resistance, which, like I said, the resistance is healthy. They're supposed to resist you, and make sure that you're a protector and a provider, and that you care about them, and that you're trying to connect with them, and that this is meaningful, and that there's a union that could take place here, and that there's energies coming together. That's what it is, man. It's about you and this other person coming together. That's the frame, and the way you come together is by finding meaning in it and connecting it all, and that's going to lead you to the next thing, and so on and so forth. So all this pickup stuff I'm putting up, I just wanted to share with you where I'm at in my pickup journey. So the steps I went through was becoming aware that I even could pick up, then doing my first approach. Like I said, I went to that mall and I didn't do shit, so then I just did my first approach. I got over that fucking hump, and then I got into this whole basing my identity thing where it had to be okay for me to not approach. And then it was okay for me to not approach. It's okay for me to leave stuff alone. And then I got into the whole hunter thing where I didn't want to just look at people like objects that I'm trying to acquire. And that's how I got around that. Or I'm telling you freaking now that I see any woman that I'm attracted to, her body, as this valuable vessel that I have to take care of. I value her, basically, is what I'm saying. So I come in and I don't approach trying to dominate and overwhelm her. I come in with this baseline understanding that this is a valuable being that I'm interacting with, this life-giving vessel, and I need to take care of it because it's a gift from God. That's how I treat women. So a lot of this was me just kind of figuring out what everything, the values and what I'm doing wrong. So those were the things I was doing wrong, man. That's how I learned what I had to learn there. I treat them correctly and I value them. Once I learned that, now when I approach, I screen. I'm treating them right. I told you my frame that I have now, where I'm giving them an opportunity to connect with another person. And if they're open to connecting with somebody, just the fact that you did that gave you meaning to them. Imagine how many girls walk around. I mean, I know girls have told me when they walk around, how many guys look at them but don't approach them, or guys approach them and they're creepy because they just want to use them. I don't have that now. So when I approach, I don't have all that creepiness and I want to use them stuff. And the reason I don't have that is because, one, I'm not going to be the guy that just looks and doesn't approach, because I understand that they want me to approach. Two, I'm not going to be the creepy guy because I'm not trying to just get in their fucking pussy. I'm coming up offering them something, and I'm okay with walking away with not getting whatever the fuck. I don't have a line necessarily ready. I have a certain frame ready. That's where all your lines come from. It's from your frame, man. If you're trying to come up with lines, your frame is off. I don't know what I'm doing, so I need to just have this line prepared to look like I know what I'm doing. When you have the right frame, which is, for me, the frame that I'm giving you now, I have no problem talking with women now. I can just talk and talk and talk, man, because I have the correct frame. They feel it, man, and you'll see it, man. I can see when I approach now, you see them get nervous. I remember I used to have this problem with it, like, why would a girl get nervous with me? Like, she's the prize. I'm trying to fuck her. But when you come in and you have this understanding that you're offering this connection with them, because you're the other half of the connection, man. So of course she wants you, just like you want her, because you want to connect with her. You open it so she can connect with you back, and then she feels it like, oh wow, here's the other half of this connection that I also want. So you now have value. So now she doesn't want to fuck it up either. And then you walk away and then she ruins that connection too. This is why it doesn't really matter how attractive you are, because they just need someone that can make it happen in the way that they need it to happen. It happens to me with girls sometimes too, where you get to know them and you don't really think they're all that hot. And then as you get to know them, you start noticing things about them that make them hotter. So that's what happens to them. So the fact that you came and you opened with the right frame, and that's going to create attraction. And then that's where the screening starts. And then you might realize at some point when you're going through the connection process, oh, I actually don't connect with this person. You're really pretty and everything, but I actually realize that there's nothing here, and you can walk away now. And she can feel this, guys. It's not an ego thing that you're walking away like they teach in PUA. It's just that there's no connection there. That's the fucking ultimate goal, is to come into union, to come together with this other person. That's what you're doing when you're interacting with a woman. You're connecting with her, or you're being one with her. It's just based on you living the same meaning together. And I keep saying it, but it bears worth repeating. Redundancy is a key to learning it. So I hope you guys are getting it. And you start screening her for that. Once you screen her for that, and that goes well, you speak slowly, you start saying something about you, and then in the middle of it, you ask her about something about her, and then you give her a chance to talk about herself, and then you go back to what you were saying. These little pieces where you're involving her, and the reason you're involving her is so she can connect with what you're saying too. Like, you go, and then you give her chances at certain points when you're going to add input and, you know, contribute and connect with what you're going. And then it's all connecting, guys, and it's all the way that you're going. Like, you are supposed to lead, and she is supposed to follow you. Earlier I said it's not like that. It's not like that under this frame where you do it because that's what she wants so you can fuck her. No, that is what you're doing so she can connect with you, and you're the fucking rock, and she's the one that's nurturing your environment. You're like the soil, and she's the pretty flower on top. She needs that base to fucking build this home on. That's why all these traditional roles do make sense. Protector and provider. And she fucking raises the kids. You work and you court her, and you have to value her and treat her a certain way. Her life-giving vessel has to be treated a certain way. And all that stuff makes sense now when you have the seeking connection frame. One thing leads to another. Eventually you tell each other that you love each other. When you've really fully connected with someone, for any one of you guys that haven't fallen in love, when I fell in love, what happened with me was I met this girl. She really taught me what it means to be with a woman, what a man and a woman are supposed to do when they're together. Because I used to have that problem before, like, what are we even doing? Like, yeah, I'm talking to you so we can fuck, but once we do that, what the fuck are we doing? We're just talking so we can fuck again? I get we're having fun and we're just fucking around and having a good time, but what are we actually doing that me and another guy don't do when we're together? If you take the sex thing out and I'm just talking to you and you're a woman, how is it different when I'm talking with you? Because when I'm talking with a guy, I'm talking with a guy just to have fun and fuck around and make jokes. But when I'm talking with a woman, it feels different. What are we actually doing? This is a big question that I couldn't really put my finger on it. And then after I got with her, I came to all these fucking revelations that I've been giving you guys. You're connecting with that person. You're finding meaning. You're uniting. And together I'm finding things in my life, and I'm finding the meaning in my life, and she's doing that in her life. And we talk about those things, and we figure out how those things are coming together and how they're both happening for us together and how we're both in this together. And that's what we're doing when we're talking. We're connecting. And that's what connecting means. All this shit that I've been telling you. We're like, you're just that whole thing about the meaning of life is to make it meaningful. You know, like, you're doing that together, unite and become one. And so in this frame now that I exist in, the way that I do it now is I don't go out and I hunt anymore. What I do now is I just go out, man, and when I see a girl that I think I want to talk with, I just go and talk with her. It doesn't matter if I'm at Walmart, the gym, on a hike, whatever the fuck. I literally and I go slowly. I don't have to have a line ready. I literally am just like, oh, there's a girl that I want to go talk with. I'm going to go talk with her and see if there's something there. And I go up and I open. And that's it, dudes. All this stuff from all the videos, I hope you guys are really enjoying them. I hope you can take the lessons that I've learned, and when you watch the videos, Don't put all this weird pressure on yourself and become this pickup weirdo and harass women and do all this weird fucking rapey shit where you're trying to trick them and manipulate them. On your side, you're not worth your salt if you don't approach. There's no pressure on you, man. Do it because you're seeking to connect with another person and you're looking to find the meaning together. You don't need to have a line ready. And I hope that when you're watching the videos, that's what you get out of it. That's the context, guys. It's to connect with another person. So use the tools so you can connect with other people and be able to identify. I think more than anything, really what the video is about, my video is about, is that learn to identify all this toxic shit and all this pickup that I'm posting. Closing thoughts, man. Now you know who this person that's posting all this pickup stuff is and what my experience was. We're on this journey together, not to be too fucking sentimental about it, but we're sharing in this journey together. I hope that you were able to get some value out of what I said and you're able to filter out any toxicity of the shit that I've posted. I'll keep posting, guys. Leave some comments. I would love to be in conversation with you all. Hopefully you like this video and hopefully you like my next video. So it was nice talking with you guys. Stay pimping and go create some magic, okay? Peace.